Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to step out of reality and talk about superpowers. What if your realtor, straight out of like a comic book, could have actual superpowers? Well, I'll tell you what, things would be a lot more interesting and things might even be a little bit better. We're going to talk about if your real estate agent had five superpowers, how it could help you buy and sell property. All right, so let's talk about the first one. Let's talk about X-ray vision. Can you imagine if I could walk into a home and see maybe behind the freshly painted wall that there's mold, or maybe there's cracks in the slab or foundation? What if there's a leak in the supply line behind the water heater in the wall? Yes, that's happened to us. Well, unfortunately, my vision ends at the drywall. But here's the good news. My sidekick is a professional inspector. And the good news is we have the partners to help you in a transaction. And we talk about a couple things, regardless if we're representing the buy or the sell side on a transaction. If it's safety, mechanical, or structural in nature, we're gonna make the request that it's repaired, or we're gonna recommend that you make the repairs if you're the seller. And we can talk about why we do that. If it's disclosures that have to change, if you're on the seller side, on the buy side, exactly what we're asking of the seller. And if you wanna learn more about that, or maybe why we do it, give us a call. You know, our team's happy to talk through this and share kind of the philosophy behind it. If something's cosmetic, we're going to talk about that with you and come up with a specific strategy that will make sense. All right, so the second superpower, number 2, is time travel. Do you ever wish you could skip all the endless showings and skip right to the end when you find the perfect home? With Realtor time travel, we'd do exactly that. We'd skip all the listings that aren't a good fit. We'd get right to the house that is the right one, and ultimately, you'd make the right offer. Now, unfortunately, my DeLorean, it's in the shop, so we're gonna have to rely on good communication and understanding exactly what you're looking for. But I wanna be honest, as much as it's a financial decision, buying real estate, especially if it's a home for you, is deeply personal. And really being able to evaluate what areas, what communities, which floor plans, etc., it's part of the process. You're going to want to be able to rule in and rule out what is the right fit for you. Now, there are some tools that we can help you with this so that you can do some of it virtually. This channel is a great example. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. You'll get notified every time we have a new video that comes out. But more importantly, there are a host of videos that have floor plans, they've got community tours. You can actually do a lot of the legwork looking at different areas when you want to compare and again, rule in or possibly rule out parts of our broader Southwest Florida market that you want to see. All right, now the third one, 3, would be telepathy or mind reading. How awesome would it be if your realtor could read your mind? Just imagine. I would actually fully understand exactly what you want, maybe what your wife wants, or be able to not have to interpret, or understand what each of you want respectively without one overtaking the other. It almost sounds like compromise or alignment. So that doesn't always happen in the real world. It takes time to fully understand what's the most important mutually with you, with a spouse, with whoever it might be that's part of the buying decision. And think about the negotiation. If we could read minds, how much smoother all of that would go. All right, but let's be honest. That's not gonna happen in the real world. So until then, our team, we're gonna ask really great questions. And more importantly, we're gonna listen so that we fully understand your needs. And in fact, if you're on the buy side, we use we call it a customer wish list, where we can help identify exactly what you're looking for as part of the intake. When we get that back, we can actually decrease the amount of time we spend on the first call because we've got a starting point. And ultimately, it allows us to better align options to help the search be more specific and more successful. All right, so let's talk number 4. And I don't know if this is a real superpower, but let's just say super speed. Imagine being able to see 10 different listings across our broader market, anything from Cape Coral to Marco to, let's say, Fort Myers to Naples and then back to Bonita. It's probably not going to happen in a single day. Now, don't get me wrong, it would be fantastic if we could tour a dozen homes in an hour, but the truth is that's not going to happen. So until I can figure out how to get that super speed, my partners in speed are the calendar and Waze. So to give you an idea, in the real world, my record is 18 showings in a day, and I'll never do it again. I'll be honest with you. You got to live and you got to learn. But the buyers were in from out of town, out of country, actually. They were only going to be here 2 days. They wanted to see as much as possible. And it really was in 2 different large condo buildings. So it wasn't like we were driving all over the place. But let me ask you a question. Do you think at the end of the day, they could remember Unit 2 from Unit 7 from Unit 16? No, of course not. When you see 18 showings, there's no way to remember what you liked about this one versus that one. So we don't do that anymore as a team. You know, the takeaway from that was, again, the wish list that I talked about in the last superpower. But truthfully, it is such a great way to identify and help refine. And honestly, it may even cause you to think about things that you don't think about. How many pets do you have? There are a lot of restrictions in HOA communities, in condos, townhomes, coach homes, etc., that maybe you don't think about. Do you want to rent? Do you have a boat? There's implications for all of that. That's in the wish list. So again, it's proprietary to our team. It's why we use it. And I guess I want to say this. The record should not be how many properties we saw in a day. It should be how quickly did we get you to the right property. Okay. And then the 5th superpower could be invincibility. Imagine being able to negotiate any inspection list item that came up, or the ability to just get through negotiations kind of stress-free, almost bulletproof like. That would be amazing. And while our team prides ourselves on being calm and confident in a transaction, we've gotten there because of the years of expertise we've gained in the process of handling hundreds and hundreds of transactions. And it helps too that we have a network of trusted advisors and partners that go along the transaction with us. But the truth is, we do take on stress. We walk side by side with you in the transaction, and the team, we view it as our role to help minimize some of the issues. In fact, we feel like it's a real win when we've resolved issues that you're not even aware of. And honestly, it happens more than you might expect. Our goal at the Guillette Group is to try to make the transaction as stress-free and as smooth as possible. And again, we'll talk about truths here. Anybody can sell a home, but it's easy until it's not. And that's when you're going to need someone in your corner that fully understands. Do you know what a 4-point inspection is? Do you know why it's important? Do you know the difference between cash value and replacement value on inspection, and if and why that's important? Do you know how that can affect lending potentially, especially in condo, townhome, coach home type of purchases? Are you prepared to talk about things like elevated sport counts? Or what about these cracks in the stucco? Is that normal? What about this crack on the tile? We don't have tile roofs where we come from. Is that cosmetic, or is that... There's a lot that goes on in these transactions, and you have to be prepared or aligned to partners that can help you navigate the nuances of all of these transactions. So I'll just say it. Going it alone, of course, that's an option. And of course, it can go really, really well. But the truth is, there's more complications in these transactions than there's ever been. The market here is definitely in the favor of a buyer right now. That creates hardship in many cases. There's a lack of urgency. The buyers want to ask for more. Sellers need a lot of guidance. So while you can go it alone, I wouldn't count that, honestly, as a badge of honor. That's not a superpower or a superhero type trait. You want someone in your corner that can help you be objective and navigate whether you're on the buy side or whether you're on the sell side. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 5 superpowers. And while we know this was fictional, I think we could agree that finding an agent that can help you through this is kind of the next best thing. Be sure to do your research. Find an agent that knows the market exceptionally well, that can communicate well, and can help you navigate the twists and turns that are going to happen in almost every real estate transaction. All right, so I don't know, did one of these really ring home? Is there one that you think is more important than the others? Drop it in the comments. Let's have some fun with this. But remember, you don't need superpowers. You need the right team. We're here to help. Make sure you reach out to us. You can reach us any way you want. Social media, drop us a comment here. Until next time, we'll see you soon.